news lately, especially about his criticism of the Kenya Kwanza government that he was part of at one point. After decades in politics, let's find out exactly where he stands now, where he thinks the country is, and where the country is going. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Asante.
Thank you so much. Now, straight into it, you've been in the Kenyan political space for a while, and your tenure has seen, different political alignments, and you've been part of that. What is perhaps the one thing about running government that you know now that you didn't know before?
Well, I think one of the things that I've learned, because I never worked in the executive, is that there's too much of hand dealings. And sometimes when you go to government with straight face, and all you want to do is to deliver to Kenyans. Sometimes you get a rude awakening, and that just to find when you find that, oh gosh, it's not what I thought. Everything is not straight. But to give credit again, what I discovered when I came to the executive is that there are very, very many, very, very honest, genuine, hardworking public servants who mean well for the country. And I think we in the political class who go into government not with the intentions of giving service are the ones actually who have caused the kind of stagnation, slow movement, slow decision-making among civil servants.
Right.
But otherwise, my experience is that many, but the overwhelming majority of the public servants mean very well. And they actually go to office to do service to the people.
Right.
But of course, as I said, things are not always on a straight line. And you discover that there are people who think that public service is synonymous with opening a kiosk.
What do you mean by that?
People think that they go to civil service to go and make money. And that is the biggest mistake that I find, and we must, as a country, address it.
Okay.
Because, like I say, the public servants will take cue from the political leadership. And if at the political level, we are committed to delivering to the people, the civil servants will do what is necessary.
Okay, but as a politician, some of these people that you ended up working with, in government, are your colleagues. These are people you've worked with. These are people you've shared political alignments with in different coalitions and so on. So these are people, and from the public view, these are people you know very well. Why is it that their conduct surprised you when you got into government? Why didn't you see these so-called red flags before?
Well, it wasn't quite easy, but of course you always give people a benefit of doubt. That when you see people seeking certain offices, you imagine that oh yes, I think notwithstanding anything else you may have heard about them or you may have known, there's still room for improvement,
right.
And that maybe you need to give people that opportunity to deliver. Yeah.
Do you regret taking up a role in this government?
I actually don't quite regret because of what I have been able to learn. Given that I have never worked in the executive, what I have learned is a lot, and it has made me a better Kenyan. And knowing where it is people do shady things, and being there, being able to say no, this I will not do, I will not allow. If you want to do it through some other place, not through the offices that I've held in the executive, for the short period that I served in the executive.
Right.
Yeah.
But would you say, so now, right now, this knowledge that you have, the newfound knowledge about really the inner workings of government, as you put it, how is this knowledge going to be useful to Kenyans? How do you plan to deploy this knowledge?
Well, I'm available to do any advisory role or consultative role to anybody that wishes to seek my advice. But also, I am actively involved in the United Opposition.
I see.
I'm part of it.
Let's talk about that.
And I'm doing everything within that space to ensure that certain things that I think I have seen have not been happening will happen differently. And that's why, if you recall, not too long ago, last June 24th, we launched something we call the People's Restorative Justice Commission.
Yes, we saw that.
It derives its mandate from Article 1 of the Constitution about sovereignty of the people. And we are working with several organizations to see how best to set it up so that we can begin receiving people's complaints and petitions. Because I think at the core of everything, what bothers Kenyans today, it is justice and fairness. If we can address the issue of justice and fairness, a lot of the other problems will fall into place.
One would ask you that, looking at the team that you now work with, what is now called the United Opposition, a lot of them are people who've been in government before. A lot of them are people who have had opportunities to serve at various levels, as members of parliament, as senators, as governors, and as former CSs, and so on. What is it that is new about them that they're offering to Kenyans? What's new about them?
I'm seeing in the course of our discussions a renewed commitment to serving the people.
And I'm also sorry, just about that, if you don't mind. Why do you call it a renewed commitment? And I ask this for this reason: a lot of these gentlemen and ladies have had a chance to serve. Why was there, was there a letdown of that commitment in the first place? That therefore there's need for a renewal. Why is it that they should have the answer when people would say, Kenyans would ask, they were part of the problem of what got us here? Well,
I think, for instance, if you look at the period after the promulgation of the Constitution in 2010, we've only had one government. During that period, I wasn't in the executive, I served in the legislature, and the work there is different from what happens in the executive. But of course, the executive generates a lot of the work that goes into the legislature.
True.
And you leave it. What I'm seeing is a commitment to people to say, look, Parliament should be led to do its work. Mm-hmm. In our 2010 Constitution, we set up accountability institutions, which we call the independent commissions. They should be allowed to function independently as they were expected to, or as they are expected under the Constitution. I see a commitment in the various meetings that we've held. And I keep, you tell people, you see, I notice this is not working, this doesn't work. And everybody will tell you, yeah, why should we interfere with the workings of independent offices? Why should we, for instance, also try to even imagine that we can interfere with the functioning of the judiciary? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you look at, you must allow a situation whereby, because we're not going to get NGOs, you must allow people to express themselves. And when people give you commitments and you say, yeah, maybe.
So you're convinced that this is a team that will deliver the change that Kenya needs?
I believe so. I believe so.
What role would you like to play going forward? for Kenyans and in that particular alignment?
Any role that would be given to me, given that, of course, we are a big team, and we've said, those who are sincere, like myself, we've said, if any one of us is picked to be the flag bearer, yeah, the rest should support, yeah? And we've also said that we owe it to ourselves to appreciate and understand that the country called Kenya is bigger than any one of us. If you have that kind of commitment and conviction, then you're welcome to this side of the equation.
On that, what internal mechanisms exist for peer-to-peer censorship or oversight? What would you do if you find that some of your newfound colleagues are actually not fit to serve? What would be your next move? Are we going to see Mr. Muturi step out and form another coalition or run by himself?
Why should it be difficult? We are not a big team. We're not a very big team. We can be able to correct one another. And indeed, that's what we do.
Okay. All
that,
right.
Please, because the first thing is service to the people.
Okay.
Restoring the rule of law in the country. Restoring justice.
Okay. All right.
Appreciating that the country is in a difficult position.
Okay.
And if you understand this, surely you should be able to allow it as a situation whereby a process that we are agreeing on, if it piques you, you have no reason.
Okay.
You cannot do, you cannot stand like I saw William Ruto saying he's the best president in Kenya. I mean, somebody who's been voted as the most corrupt president in the world stands and starts saying that he's the best person, the best thing that ever happened in Kenya, surely. Is he saying the rest of us are, if he is the best, yeah, from himself, which is really an absurdity. That the most corrupt president in the world, he stands before Kenyan people and says he's the best thing to have ever happened in the leadership of Kenya. So the rest of us are, if he is
Here's a question for you about the same gentleman. At some point, looking back on the campaign trail, you when you were speaking to the people, you said, "This man, I know him. He's my friend. We will work well together. He'll deliver for Kenyans." Is your relationship with the president broken beyond repair right now? In fact, when was the last time you spoke to him?
Must have been late last year.
Is the relationship broken beyond repair?
Absolutely. I don't think there's nothing I can share with William Ruto now.
What shifted in that relationship that wasn't there before?
I mean, a guy you tell, let's not do things this way. But you still go behind your back, and you find the same things that you have told, you have agreed that shouldn't be done, he's doing them. I mean, what kind of person is this?
What's your view on some of your cabinet?
And by the way, I don't, I'm always very measured. Yeah? I don't think whether there's anywhere ever, during the campaign trail that I ever told Kenyans that this guy is going to deliver Kenya. I say that we are in a coalition. I always used to say we are in a coalition to deliver Kenya.
So are you disowning your original support for him?
No, I'm not. By that time, he was the presidential candidate. Okay. Yeah. So, and we were in a coalition, the Kenya Kwanza coalition. Yeah. Okay. So I had to be part of it to say that we, in this coalition, we intend to deliver you saw we had a very magnificent plan.
The manifesto. The plan.
And in fact, let me tell you, when I went to the office of the Attorney General, whenever the president would talk to me, I'll tell him, go to page 50, I think it was 56. Because I was delivering on the manifesto as regards to the state law office.
I see.
Yeah?
I see.
Because, I believe I like doing what I have committed to. And I thought that everybody was committed to delivering, only to discover things happening, and you know.
All right. Before I let you go, I want you to speak to Kenyan. There's a question here from Kenyans, and they're asking. It's simple. Different people have sent in that question, but the question is more or less the same.
Yeah.
To that camera, speak to Kenyans. Why should Kenyans trust you and your team to represent them this time?
Let me say this. We have been around. We have seen it all. We've seen the problems that bedevil our country. But we are committed to ensuring that first there's full implementation of the Constitution, because if it is, which it isn't now, we will not be where we are. We will not be overborrowing. We will not be seeing money which is meant for capitation being sent through things called empowerment programs. And some of us, and I must say, speaking for myself, I have said categorically that education, if we believe education is the greatest equalizer, then education, as provided for in Article 43 of the Constitution, should be free from primary to secondary. And I want to tell Kenyans, this team, this group, is committed to delivering on all those commitments that are in the Constitution, first and foremost, because not doing it is even a failure, is a moral, is a sin. So I would want to plead with Kenyans to trust that we mean what we say. We are not people given to theatrics. We are not people given to drama. We are not doing public relations. We mean business.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been JB Muturi. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with more content after this break.